Okay, we're live. Are we live? Weird technological stuff happening. Let's see. It's, I see Shakara's on, so I don't see her here though. Okay. Test, test, test. Are we live? Yep, we're live. Hello, Edith Ann, Emily Madison, Linda Winger. Thank you for all your continued love, support, contributions, and everybody else. Francine Caruso, Katie Indicro's in the house. Cricket Holden, Nancy Hodges, and Shakara Tosha.
Hey, Todd.
What's happening, man?
Hey, buddy. How you doing? I really miss you. How's it going?
Yeah. Oh my God. Just, just how do you describe that? Just being on the what, the front end of that big kahuna wave. you can't jump off, and I don't know,
You
man.
gotta just write it. You gotta just write it. That's exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah, it's a lot of dimensional experiences. Morgan and I are having a lot of activations and just a lot of stuff every day coming in, every single day. Yeah. So, and then trying to navigate the 3D part. Or I don't know,
absolutely.
I don't even know that's the right way to describe it. What about you? You're in Sedona?
Pretty much the same. I am actually out on the land at the Buddhist stupa. The land just called me to be here and talk to you from here. So I am out in the open. And it's really beautiful here. I've been traversing back and forth across the country since I saw you last here. Oh my gosh, been on this incredible pilgrimage journey, for about a year. Since I saw you a couple months ago, I went to Chicago, Serpent Mountain, Ohio, back to Chicago, Atlanta, Georgia to do some ceremony and conferences. Kind of all over the place, and drove across the country. Was at a reservation in South Dakota, then went to Santa Cruz, drove down south with a crew to Blythe, New Mexico, or Blythe, California, which was amazing. There are all these collective indigenous elders, and a lot of people came together, a lot of Aztec dancers, and we did the sacred ceremony on the land out there.
I'm listening. I'm plugging in. Yeah. Man, you're just all over the place.
I am all over the place.
This has only been since I came. I saw you the night I left Sedona.
Right.
Which was
probably late
around
October.
Yeah, it was like October 27th, I think, or something like that.
Yep.
Let me make sure I'm good here. Hang on a second. I don't want to lose. Okay, we're good. Yeah. So that's a lot of places to go, man. It's funny. It's funny because that stupa you're at.
Yeah.
I went there. I went to Sedona for 4 days, and then I went back to Phoenix for a week, and then I went back to Sedona and stayed till I left.
Yep.
And so on the fourth and final day, the lady I was with, the sister I was with, she woke up and she goes, "We got to go to the stupa." And I'd already had a bunch of stuff happen, in the first 3 days. I was like, yeah, there was all kinds of stuff happening. And so I went to the stupa, and I don't know if they know what the stupa is, but I mean, it's this big temple. Just big temple, and people walk around it and basically pray, for lack of a better word. Absolutely. And anyway, so it's a really cool place and I heard the story later from some people about how it was built. The guy went out there, whoever it was, saw the land and saw the Buddha. Okay. And then knew that's where he was going to. So I was out there, and there's a wooden Buddha sitting down over there.
I'm sitting really close to him right now.
Yeah. Yeah. So I filmed there. I was just like, "Hey, I'm at the stupa, man." And I was just like, so I got through. So I was on the thing and standing by the Buddha, and there's a mountain, right? It's at the base of a mountain. So I see this guy come down the mountain, and he's Indian, Eastern Indian. He's got like long black hair. Yep. He's got a T-shirt on, jogging shorts, and jogging shoes.
Yep.
And so I'm like, "Oh wow, that dude just came out of nowhere." He must be hiking the mountain. Yeah. So then I got off and I walked down to the stupa, and this dude walks right in front of me. Like I could have touched him. walked right in front of me, never made eye contact, and he's looking, and I'm just looking at him like, I mean, he's like right in front of me. And I said, "How you doing?" And he turned to me with this huge smile, and he says, "Hey, how are you doing? My name's so-and-so." I said, "My name's Todd." He said, "Do you know how to get out of here?" I said, "What?" I said, and of course, I'm not even from Sedona, but there's just one road that you just take off the main road, and then you get to the stupa.
Yeah.
So I'm like, dude, how did you get here? He said, "Well, this is my first day in Sedona." And I'm like, "Well, I just go down there and take a right, and you'll go to the main road."
Yeah.
So I didn't think nothing of it. So we jump in the car about 10 minutes later. We're driving down the road. I'm driving. And all of a sudden, I see the dude on the left-hand side of the road jogging, right?
Yeah.
And as I'm about to pass him, he stops, turns around, looks straight at me, squats down on his haunches, and looks right at me and has that big grin. And I thought, oh my God, this dude's an interdimensional shaman.
Probably.
It was like a kiss hello or something. It was weird.
Absolutely.
So you're out there on that holy land, yeah? And you've been all over
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just called to come here. The story I heard about this place is that a lot of monks came here throughout the, since it's been built. And there's like prayer flags and rock things. And then this mountain behind me is Thunder Mountain. And when I was out here last time, I stayed at a friend's house and I would see ships coming in and out of the mountain all the time.
Yeah.
And just really, really, really sacred land. So yeah, I was just called back here. A lot of people that get called to Sedona, like you too, I'm sure, we're just called to visit with the rocks. I mean, it's an amazing place to visit, but really, really sacred energies. And yeah, I've been seeing ships and star people.
It's an amazing place to fast track.
Yeah. Fast track.
Yeah.
That's it.
And I told you this too. Yeah, I told you this. I know I did. Well, when I went back to Sedona after spending 3-4 days in Phoenix, the first night, this interdimensional Syrian dog man, kind of was running in the backyard and
like an Anubis. Yeah.
Yes, Anubis. And then
I remember
and then the night after I was hanging out with you and those two homeboys from Chicago, I was walking back and this time it ran up on me physically. Like I felt its breath on me. So Sedona is a great place to go if you think you're spiritually grounded or if you want to fast track.
Yeah, absolutely. People talk about vortexes all over here, but what I've learned just going on the land from my own experiences is you are the vortex. It's wherever you go. It's just whatever you activate. So it's been really beautiful. But, you were talking about being in 3D, and this has been an incredible pilgrimage I've been on basically for a year. I left my home and I've been traveling all over the country, and just, I'm guided by these star people to share all these messages I've downloaded for about 4 years. And I mean, it's incredible. It's about ascension and your body system and quantum mechanics. And it's so vast. And I just, what I'm experiencing, I had a lot of money, a little money, a lot of money, little money. And, I get by and I get exactly what I need to do this journey, but I'm completely guided by spirit and on spirit time. And I'm just shown to share these messages that I bring in, and they're really like light codes. I do a lot of galactic artwork and scripts and stuff and speak all these star languages, and it's all kind of coming together. Like all these pieces are finally fitting, and it's really, really about helping people during this ascension time. A lot of people are really struggling in the body and in the mind, and a lot of emotions releasing. And, we've all been through our ups and downs, and it's part of being human. And I have gone through incredible challenges and life tests. And I realized, I made a prayer a couple of years ago that I wanted to grow. So I'm going to grow pretty fast, so the thing that I'm learning is we all, create our present and create our future by our thoughts and our actions, and you can change it at any moment. But it was real hard sometimes, and didn't know where I was supposed to land and go. And then I was guided, and I just, when you trust yourself and just listen to your inner guidance, you know exactly what to do. So I've been doing these really, really cool ceremonies and gatherings and stuff, and I've been so just taken a lot on. And the message I'm getting right now is to go somewhere for like 1 to 3 months and just completely ground down,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
whatever that means, however that happens.
Yeah, that's right. You
So
don't know. But
yeah, no, yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think what you're touching on is really important. We're actually going to do, Morgan's very camera shy.
Uh-huh.
And
Get her on camera. It's
yeah,
good.
we
It's a good
are.
experience.
Yeah, we're going to go on what in 3 hours and 45 minutes.
Cool.
But it's the result of the things that we're going through, and similar to what you're talking about. And it's this. I mean, we had an incredible transmission just an hour ago, an hour and a half ago. I mean, and mind blown. It just and I'm like, it's this, and God, these words don't even work. And I know you're going to be able to elaborate on this, but it's just it's beyond surrender.
Yeah.
It's literally being impervious to the external world.
Yep.
Impervious to any force outside of you, and there's some type of transition within the transition. I feel like I can touch it, like I can even reach in and touch you.
Absolutely.
It's so close.
Yeah.
It's so close to being able to get a harness on this instant manifestation, but it has nothing in any similarity whatsoever with where we came from with structuring, planning, and that type of stuff.
Nope.
And so I want to see what your perspective is on it, but it's like this thing where you just hold. It's two things. You just hold this divine love frequency from your heart, and what you're talking about, you're putting it out there, serving the collective, because this is your passion. You're serving yourself, and it's a simultaneous thing. What's your perspective on that?
Absolutely. Well, the message, I mean, I can only speak for my own journey, but the star guides that I work with show me to share my journey to inspire other people to find it themselves. So each one of us, as I understand it, have to find our truth, whatever that means. We're star people that have come down here at this time of this ascension shift, which I understand has already happened. We've already gone through the shift and our body's just kind of catching up. That's why it feels so wonky to a lot of people. It's like we're in 3D, you got to do your stuff, but you're feeling these waves and then these surges and then getting ideas and all the stuff they talk about, ascension symptoms. You're exhausted, or stuff that you loved or foods you loved have no interest and you just don't know what to do. And I do these light language sessions with people and all my clients are saying the same thing. What do I do? What's my purpose? What's my mission? I said, what do you want to do? My understanding is that we're rewriting our new blueprints of our life, our lifestyle, of our body system, kind of everything. And so people get lost in, we're so entrained in this matrix system of being told what to do over and over again from day one. This is how we have to perform, or this is how we have to be, or these are the things that we have to find the right partner, et cetera, et cetera. And what's so exciting about this time is when people let go of that and just really, really ground in, which can be a lot of different things. I go on the land, drink lots of water, really calibrate with nature, with the natural substances and the natural elements, because that's what we're made of. We're shifting so quickly that you can't see it. It's so fast. It's like a different timeline. And what my guides show me is we're out of the timeline. After 2012, we've shifted out of this kind of experiential, what 3D is for. I mean, it's just a construct. And people can really do what they want. We're coded from seeds of all these different star races and beings, and we're here to enjoy life, whatever that means. So I just say, have a good time, go with the flow, and listen to your instinct. Your body's going to start to awaken. There's this veil that's been put over our consciousness that's lifting for a lot of people really quickly, and it feels really weird. It's like a new foreign territory. And, what do I do? What do I do next? And so I'm guided for myself and to show other people, just do what you love. If you're a musician, do more of that, but blend it with cooking or dancing, or, it's really about creating whatever. So what I'm shown is when you're in a state of manifesting, creating, dancing, singing, building, constructing, gathering, community, whatever that is, when you're in those states, you're actually not only in tune with the divine, feminine, masculine, that energy, you are being that. And then just do more of that. And it's almost like I visualize walking out on a plank, and then the plank just drops and it's open space. Like whatever,
Yeah.
whatever. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I've been
Yeah.
freestyling and free flowing. What's really
Yeah.
fascinating about my journey that I can share is, having moved around so much, I'm really out of the construct of time. I wake up when my body tells me. I'm in tune with the sun. I follow the moon cycles, which are really important. And when you get back on this natural way, whatever that is, you're feeling emotions. You process them and let them go, and just put them in perspective. But don't judge them. Don't
Yeah.
analyze
Yeah.
stuff, and just let all that stuff go. Um, we are so much living in the past that we bring into the present. And what I'm finding is so fascinating is that every moment, when you're grounded in the moment, however each person needs to do that, love their partner, go sing to the top of the hills, sit quietly and meditate. It doesn't really matter, what methodology you're following, what practice you're doing, or what
Yeah.
belief system you have. When you do that, you sink in to your heart. It's a heartfelt consciousness that we're doing now. And then just have fun with it and blend it with stuff that you enjoy doing. And when you do that, what happens is you raise your vibration. When you're happy,
Yeah.
you emanate joy. So I've been on an emotional roller coaster, and it's usually when I've doubted myself. So, I go, what the hell am I doing?
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, who
Yeah.
do I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
I am? And
Yeah.
then
I
and
get
then I
that.
go,
Yeah.
okay. But what I'm learning, at least for myself, I told you I worked a lot with this Chief Golden Light Eagle, who I adore, who's my brother, who I've learned so much from. He just says, let it go. It's not about you. And when we stop taking things personally, taking things so heavy, judging other people, oh, I don't like this, or this isn't working for me, or whatever, just go with the flow. Let it
Yeah.
go, let it go. It's a constant purging. It's really quite easy. And
That's it. Is it? Is it? I was going to say, in the context, and I don't know if you're speaking light language. Is anybody else hearing the light language he's speaking?
oh
Because I'm
yeah,
hearing so.
right now. Well,
So,
I want to share some of that. That's for sure.
yeah, I want you to. No,
Yeah.
absolutely. We
Yeah.
can run about an hour and 15 because we got
Okay.
another show in an hour and 6 minutes.
Well, I'm
But
watching
listen,
my battery, so we're
so
good.
oh, that's okay. We're good. Hey, the force is with us. But in
Absolutely.
the context of what you're saying, there are times it feels so easy, right?
Oh,
And I
absolutely.
think in the context of what you're saying, and many people, such as the clients you're talking about, and the people that are listening on the live and replay, so they're getting the mission, or they're either getting close to understanding their mission, they're getting the mission, their passion, whatever it is, the alignment of so many things translating into what they're manifesting and co-creating, creating. So they've got that in front of them. They've got the whole ball of wax that you're talking about in terms of, being in the sequence of the cycles, in the rhythm, and then they still drop in. And I'm so happy to hear you say that it's an emotional roller coaster. So,
oh yeah.
I think what you're saying is it's simple. I don't know if it's easy, but it's simple. It really
Well,
is a simple, yeah.
I learned you can make your life complex or you can make it simple. And whatever prayer I made, I don't know, but I asked for the big download. I get messages from probably 50 different star people, elementals, ascended masters. They just come in dream time. I see them in the physical, and it's about every topic you can imagine. And I'm going, why am I getting this? And the message I got was, because you're open and because you can do something with it. So, all of this is from my learning and my growth, but it's really to share for other people, to help them
Absolutely.
remember who they are. And this is what this time is really about. So, we can struggle through and just kind of make do. Or we can say, okay, here's a challenge. I'm going to accept this challenge and find my way through it.
Yeah.
There's no other way to explain it. So, I've been on the road for a year. I've met thousands and thousands of people, at these ceremonies and gatherings and house togetherness. And I mean, beautiful, beautiful people. And what I find is everybody is experiencing the same condition. This is part of being human.
Yeah.
And, what I really wanted to share, the message I got that was really clear was this ascension time is about, everybody has different viewpoints or experiences or visions about what this is. And I'm just shown that it's our higher self and all of our guides and our star self, all our ancestry kind of coming down in the physical and being completely
Yeah.
physical and spiritual. So
Yeah.
we don't know what that looks like, but if we remember, we used to be like that. In ancient times, we used to be
Yeah.
completely in tune, completely telepathic, et cetera, et cetera. So what's
I think I
interesting,
think
mhm,
I was going to say, I think there's an element of that remembrance, and that we were that, we are that, and
yeah,
also what you said earlier, which is like, what does it look like? Well, we don't know what it looks like because we're the ones that actually created the new blueprint, like you were talking about earlier. I just wanted to throw
and
that in.
and I think each one of us has to create our own model. And then that's why everyone is unique. When we do these gatherings and ceremonies, what's so special is everybody has a voice. Everybody has a
Yeah,
message. It doesn't
that's a
matter
big
if you
one. Yeah,
speak light language or not, if it doesn't
yeah,
matter if you are a presenter or not, it doesn't matter. Each person has to find their voice in the world
yeah,
and express it. And this is a time of what they call the time of truth and revealing and
yeah,
unveiling.
yeah.
It's like the message I'm getting is we're initiating ourselves. So you can go as fast or slow as you want, but it's you're not alone. I really want to share this to all your viewers. We all get stuck at times. Just unstick yourself. Just say, okay, this sucks. Okay, I'm done.
I'm done
I'm
with that.
done waddling in my sorrows. And okay, what can I do now? And what I'm finding is when I'm of service to other people, whether it's helping around the kitchen or just smiling or just
Yeah,
being with people and being present, it's okay. And that's really the message that I want to deliver
yeah.
here is it's all okay exactly as it unfolds. It may take a little while or a long while, but we're all getting to the same point, you
I
know?
like that. I like that I'm done thing. Morgan's got this thing. Morgan has this little excellent mantra thing.
Uh,
I know I will no longer have a relationship with the
mm-hmm.
energy of such and such within myself or anyone
Mm-hmm.
else. And
Yeah,
I think there
yeah,
is an element of, hashtag I'm done.
yeah,
I love you unconditionally, no, kind of
yeah.
thing. No more. And
Well, this is,
you're saying it to yourself as
yeah.
opposed to the 3D projecting it on somebody else. Here you're
Well,
saying it in any case at all. Yeah.
absolutely. And what I'm learning is that we create everything around us. So a lot of people feel, because it's the way that we've been taught in this matrix field, is stuff happens to us. People dislike us, there's judgments, or, we're supposed to, our mind works in a very interesting way. We're constantly ranking everything. That's how our mind works. I like this, I don't. It's hot, it's cold, it's good, it's bad. That's the duality. And everything, if you can really allow everything to be exactly as it is, if you can look at a person and just let them be who they are, they're loud or they're quiet or they're silly or they're goofy or annoying or whatever, just let them be. And that's this Arcturian free will that I follow, is just, everybody, do unto others as you would have them do unto you, et cetera,
Yeah.
et cetera. Just, when you lose that judgment, there's nothing to judge. It's like, a lot of
Yeah.
people are talking about disclosure and the shadow and the dark side. Believe me, I have been through my tests with that, real dark energies coming around, and I've had to transmute them and put things to rest and put things in place. And it's quite an interesting experience. Those energies exist in the world, but I just don't tune in with them.
Yeah.
Just say,
They're-
that's not where my realm is.
They
People
res-
look
they
up.
reside
No.
they reside in another neighborhood.
Yeah, yeah. Well, what happens is when you start vibrating at a higher level, by the way that you are, by the way that we are, they just dissolve out of your realm. It's not even in your realm anymore.
True. That's very
So,
true. Yeah.
I woke up this morning to Sedona, and there were trails all over the skies, zigzag, X marks the spot. I mean, I was just laughing, and I said, okay, this is funny, but this is not my realm. And I just went on the land and I said some prayers, and the sky opened up and it's like crystal blue now.
Yeah.
So what I'm really getting is couple messages are coming through that everything is a ceremony.
I was
Everything is a
gonna
ceremony.
ask you, just short answer, but because I want to get into what you're about to lead into. What kind of ceremonies were you doing over these last 2-3 months, and what kind are you about to do for us now?
Absolutely. So I was involved in I've done a lot of sweat lodges. I participate in a lot of different Lakota style sweat lodges with different groups, which is really beautiful. A lot of people are concerned about that because of some negative press about that or whatever. But when you really tune in with the right people and the right way, these are really sacred in a lot of different ways. You're retuning your body, you're cleansing and clearing, but there's an incredible beauty in that whole ceremony that I can talk about at a later time. But I don't know. We've been doing these very sacred ceremonies at some of these conferences where we get together with high vibrational women and men in a circle, and we sing these calling songs, these energetic calling songs for all these guides, and transmute energy and clear the land and help people that way. When I was in Blythe, California, there was a calling for this gathering. Really, just about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, something like. I'm so out of time right now. I don't even know what year it is, but we were out on the land. A lot of people were called back to these intaglios out on the land that were very much like the Nazca lines and these big what are they called, effigies, that there's differing opinions about how they were formed or what they were about, but a lot of Aztec dancers and elders and Zuni elders and Havasupai and Yavapai. I mean, a lot of people came, and non native people, and we were doing prayers and ceremony on the land. And a lot of people believe that the original Aztecs came from that land and migrated south, so they were coming home. I mean, it was really, really joyous ceremony
Wow.
for a lot of people. But that kind of thing. But I'm doing my own ceremony and gatherings with people and circles and medicine wheels and a lot of real kind of earthy stuff, because this is the way I get grounded. Otherwise, I fly all the time because I'm working with these star people. They come in and they're talking to me and giving me all these messages. I have to do that to remain balanced, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So yeah. So when I talk about ceremony that we can do, it's really it's really what do we really want collectively? We want good food, good water, fresh skies, fresh air. A lot of the spraying that's happening is really depleting our oxygen level and causing people to have problems and forget and get senile and, literally lose their mind. At the same time, these energies are shifting. Mother Gaia is birthing. We're getting the sun that I'm looking at now that's just magnificent. I don't know if you've perceived it, but the light that's coming in from the sun is different.
Yeah.
And it's totally jazzing us up. It's
Yeah.
awakening all the
Yeah, I mean,
codes. So,
and I'm just going to plug in because you already said it a minute ago,
mm-hmm.
but allowing us to transcend all this crap too, the chemtrails, the GMOs, the fluoride, and all that. We have the ability. We're energy transformers, and we have the
Yeah.
ability to transcend this stuff now. The energies are working
Yeah.
for us, and they're only getting stronger and stronger. Yeah.
Well, this is what this collective is about. We can't do it ourselves.
Yeah.
So I just really want to say I really, really appreciate what you're doing, having all these people on your show talking about their own experience so that other people can realize it's a collective. We're here all together to get back together and change this vibration. So like when I drink water, I pray to the water and say, thank you. And it somehow, Dr. Mono's done all these experiments
Yeah,
with the things, but when you pray, I never really understood what it was like to pray or what that really meant until I had my own personal experience with it. But just tuning in and sinking in with a vibration of the consciousness of the water. I mean, it's really shamanically very deep when you think about it. And it can transmute. If you have a prayer of gratitude, it can transmute your body. The water in your body can transmute. Before I eat food, I just say thank you for all the people that have created this, brought this together, attended this. Thank you for Mother Nature. And I had a dream maybe a week or two ago, that there's going to be a time when food may be scarce and things may be overtreated, and it's not, we have to rise our body to the occasion. So the dream was, we pray on food, even if it has an ounce of sacred nature in there somewhere, it can revitalize itself with our honoring, respect, vibration, whatever. So yeah, so when I say I'm in ceremony, it's just, I'm so appreciative for everything that's going on, because I've been through some real real hardships. I've been out on the land. I've been camping on the land for a couple days. I've been moving around, and it just makes me really grateful for really good friends that have helped out and been supportive. And I'm shown that I'm going through these tests to really understand how to manifest whatever I need anytime I need it, and to be of service, whatever that means. So yeah, it's challenging, but it's fun. Once you turn it around, it's all how you think about it.
yeah.
So I try to look at it optimistically, and when I sink down, I say, what the hell are you doing? Get back on your horse and keep going, and
I
have
like
some
that.
parties.
I have some parties. Well, maybe, but I like that metaphor you use of walking the plank and the plank's gone.
Oh yeah.
I just I said, I was telling you about an hour and a half ago, Morgan, I had an incredible, it was the most incredible, it was an incredible session, just a mutual communion.
Yep.
And so after we came out of it, we were downstairs talking, and I'm just like, man, I'm fine. Everything's fine. Yeah. And then I walk up the stairs, and my heart I start getting really hot.
Yeah.
And my heart starts, beating about, 180 per minute. And and I laid on the bed real quick. I thought, oh my God, what's happening?
Yeah. Yep.
And then I said, well, what's going on? And I see this lightning bolt, and I see myself grab it, and I could literally feel the force, the centrifugal force of just, and I was just holding on, just hold on,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, it just goes from one scene to another.
And it's like, what's happening is we're going through waves, all your people, Lisa Transcendence Brown, Sandra Walter, I mean, all these people are talking about the same vibration it's waves that are coming, that are just happening. It's part of this process of evolution that's happening super quick. And so, like the heart palpitations, I felt that too. I'm going through a little premenopause and hot flashes, which are really fun.
Evidently, I am too.
I think men do it in their own way. They say,
That's what I was told. Now I'm starting to believe it.
Yeah. And it's empathic if you have a partner, But and also what's happening is people that are in partnership in any form. I have a wonderful, wonderful new partner I've joined with about 2 or 3 months ago, and we're when you just sink in, you're on the same path. We want the same things. We're working toward the same goals, but it's in any shape or sexuality or dynamics or whatever. And it can be friends, it can be a partnership with your parent or child. But when we do these unions, you talk a lot about the divine masculine and the sacred feminine, all these messages I'm getting now from Shekinah, the Shakti, the Sophia, White Buffalo Calf woman, all these guides are coming in talking about this principle of this divine feminine energy that's rebalancing everything. And, it's happening to all of us. So when you're working with a partner, it definitely accelerates that, but it's very helpful,
Absolutely.
To go back to one unity.
What is, you started to talk about a couple of messages or a couple of things from the star family.
Yeah.
What is there a current message? Is there a current intel? You know, I mean, it's since January 1st, it's been moving at warp
Yeah.
speed. So I
Oh,
don't, you know,
absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah. The message I got is they're all here. I mean, I actually see starships flying around a lot. I personally have visitations where they come in kind of semi-physical, and they come and they talk with me, and Sasquatch and Arcturians and just all these amazing beings. Some are beings of light and orbs, and they just say they're, you know, my understanding is this is a free will planet, so they can't intervene. It has to be done by us in the physical, and they're fascinated with humans because many of them, most of them, have not been physical. So we're what may seem like a really hard, dense place to be is this is the best training ground to rise to the occasion, or whatever you want to call it. Is we're learning how to be spiritual in the physical body. So how
yeah,
to feel emotions and work with this whole body system. So they're looking at us just as much as people are looking at the skies, wondering where they are. They're around in all these dimensions. They all exist right here. So
yeah,
they are, as this veil opens and this consciousness opens. I've had friends that have been seeing them, you know, things moving by them, seeing lights and orbs and stuff. I mean, I'm already there. I've kind of been indoctrinated in all that since I was little. But it's fascinating. And then what's happening with this light language, I want to talk about a little bit, is my understanding, for those people that don't know, is like all these different star nations from all these different constellation systems have their own language or have their own vibration, and it's really pre-language. It's telepathy, it's love, it's a kind of a communion that we're getting to. So that's what you and your partner, you and Morgan, are experiencing, and you know, with other people when you're having these kind of conversations. It's a heartfelt communication. I can't explain it any other way, but this light language is really, really fascinating. About 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, I started going online. A couple people, maybe a couple thousand people, were communicating with what people call language of light around the world. And usually they've had like an ET experience or something. All of a sudden, it's just exploded.
yeah.
And when I speak light language to people, it triggers something. And they just start talking back to me, just like that guy. You remember that young kid
Mm-hmm.
we were jamming with?
Yeah, yeah, I remember that.
Right? And I just started talking. And, you know, people have their own, what I call energetic frequency signature, and they have it. So, like, for example, when we were in Blythe, I gathered 10 people together that I knew spoke their own version of star language. It doesn't matter. You don't need to understand it. It's a vibration. And some will speak, you know, tones or clicks or tones or singing or whatever. It comes out in various forms. Most people speak one or two kind of expressions. There are very few handful of people that do a lot. Like I do a lot. I know maybe 10 people that I've met. I'm sure there are more. But it's so natural. You know, it's what we've done as babies. Go, go, gaga, go, 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 you know, it's like this flow. And what I'm being shown is as we're shifting in these higher dimensional consciousnesses, people are going to experience the world very differently. So I can look at a tree and it can be literally a tree. I know that to be a tree. It looks like this, whatever. But I can kind of shift my consciousness in another higher vibration, which is very easy to do in Sedona because it's just the vibe here. But I have this experience all the time where I'll look at a rock or scry something and I can see patterns, and then it starts to morph into this other form. And then I see the energy vibration of the tree. This is where we're going.
Yeah.
And the light language is so interesting. I'll speak it and someone else will speak it and they'll start crying. They're moved to tears. It's really, really phenomenal because it's like a remembering. And what's happening with me is it's evolving so quickly. At first, certain guides were coming in, and now I'm learning how to call in the guides specifically for the people that need healing or activation or whatever. And I'm so moved. I can feel it. You know, it's very, very moving. So,
I got you.
you ready?
I'm just, yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready. Yeah. So, yeah, absolutely. I'm
Right.
ready. Is this,
So,
well, just do
I,
it. Don't, I'm
yeah,
not going to, yeah.
do whatever.
Yeah.
And don't worry if, I just want to say to people, don't worry if you don't understand it. Don't listen to it literally, just feel it. It's a heartfelt thing. So I'm going to say something in star language. Sometimes I get the messages. Sometimes it's just a pictograph. Sometimes I know who's talking, and sometimes it's a vibration. So I'll just share some messages that are coming through, okay?
Very cool.
Chumula kai no shambate se nisuko to shiminu la kai te nisuko no alo koi do shiminu sankai te chiko to shime nisuko la kai no shamato se nisuko to la kino shamate se ki to shine anoto acto no shamulu kai no shambote se ki to shime anoso ko to lean in to shigimiru la kai no shambata ni kai to no shamoleki Nisikoto imo mo shu katai no shimo duela ki no shimo desikito shini. Ni akta no shimo no la kai ni no shiki no la kai. Na mo sakoto shime no la kai to shini. Hasakoto shime no la kai no shimo de nisikoto shime no la kai. Nisikoto shan ako to shime no la kai no shimo dese. Ni uka to shime mo la kai no shante.
Very good.
So that was hello. You got me at hello.
You got me at hello. Yeah, that was a good frequency. I like that one.
Yeah. That's been this kind of ancient grandmother, like a Lemurian grandmother that I've been working with. That's coming through. And kind of, I don't know, I work with probably 30 different guides. This one guy that I've really, really been connecting with is, I call Jesus Emmanuel with a J, J-M-M-A-N-U-E-L. And this chief gave me this book called The Talmud of Emmanuel, written by Billy Meyer, when I first met him. And he said, read this about the codes of creation, and there's messages in there to help you remember of what you're going to share and teach and guide people. And then all of a sudden I started feeling this feminine presence. I would feel this being, when you're an ascended master in these higher realms, or star people, or even elementals of different vibrations, when you're above the fifth dimension and above, you can be many places at once. You're not trapped in a body or location or whatever. You can trilocate, you can multi-locate. And so that's why a lot of people may feel these guides coming in and connecting with them. That energy source of that guide may be permeating a lot of different places. So what happened to me was this feminine being came in, and she was just amazing. First, I saw her in a sweat lodge. Energetically, I could, visually see her. And then she started coming to me in dream time. And she was telling me about her, and she told me her name. And then this chief was talking about her name being Emanuela, which was the twin of Emmanuel. And I started getting all these downloads about her, like remembering when I was with her or carrying some aspect of her or something. And all these kind of truths about who this was. So a lot of people talk about the Magdalene and how she worked with the one I call Emmanuel. And this Emanuela, what I have been shown was not completely physical. This Chief Golden Lady Eagle talks about her being the real divine, what's it called, conception. That this energy form came through at the same time. And I think she was working on etheric levels. I don't know if you can see me. The sun just went down. I'm going to shift gears toward the tree.
No, see you fine.
Okay.
I see you fine.
So give you a little more view. I'll give you a little panoramic view of Sedona. But she is really giving me lots of messages. And I'm actually writing probably 13 to 32 mini books about each of these different guides on each of these different topics. That's why I need to go seclude myself and recalibrate all this stuff. But I'm writing a book specifically about her and the White Buffalo Calf Woman and the Sophia codes, the Sophia energy that manifests in different forms, Shekinah, the Shakti of the Shiva, and that kind of thing, of what these energy forms are and who they really are in the feminine, and what that means. At least I can only share what I've been shown, but I believe there are going to be a lot of truths coming out about who these beings really have been, who these ascended masters are, and people are really going to get to know at a very deep level Melchizedek, you know, Emmanuel, all these star people, Michael, you know, Saint Germain, all these beings, but especially the feminine. You know, a lot of people that I do these ceremonies with feel these kind of heartfelt releases. All these women that I'm with, a lot of times because we have flashback memories of carrying this weight of what I have been shown protecting these divine seed codes or these divine
Yeah.
galactic codes. And when you, just like we're doing in the physical now, when you release the heaviness or the emotion and the pain, whatever was inflicted. I mean, I've had really intense dreams of being slashed and burned and da da da. And, you know, that was part of the process. The message I got was we chose to do that over time, probably many lifetimes, especially as women, and men incarnate as women back and forth. And so we all carry these codes that are here that are kind of coagulating with each other. So you're definitely, you and Morgan are those people. I'm some of those people. Other people are some of those people. And I think we all are. And but we took on this mission by choice because we could handle it.
Yeah.
And this is where we get out of the victim mentality. It's not, oh, poor me anymore. It's like, wow, I can do this. What am I doing? You know, and that's somehow the release when you have an emotion that's really strong, especially for those people that have had things happen to them in this lifetime, whether it's abuse or domination or difficulty, financial, emotional, whatever. When you realize, what I've been told is that we create everything around us. We choose to come in to this lifetime to resolve whatever this stuff is. And when you realize that you created that in the past, or you created it now, somehow you call that to you to have a kind of life lesson. It sounds really very
You called to you. You called to you for
sensitive.
what?
You
You called
called it to you to have a life experience to transcend it. You know, either you've done it to somebody in the past, or it's just something that you've needed to learn on your journey. So for the people that,
Have you seen that movie Cloud Atlas?
I've seen parts of it. Yeah,
Yeah,
same kind of thing.
I just watched it, and that one of the things, because it was about all these different people having multiple different lives and different time periods, different dimensions. But one of the things that was interesting is Tom Hanks' character, who was kind of the one of the central characters, kind of a hero type on a continuous journey, pushing the ball forward, but also was in one life a villain, trying to kill somebody, So
I think we all have lives as many people. Someone told me, an elder told me, in one life we come back as the perpetrator, or we come in as the perpetrator, and then the other life we're the victim. And then sometimes, this is why I think people go into healing modalities, is because you've experienced both and you sort of understand both sides, whether it's conscious or not, And so we're here to kind of rebalance it. That's all.
So that's what I was going to ask you. So why in this summary life? I mean, why in this? Where are we at now? What is that all coming to now? Is this time that you're talking about, this ascension?
Yeah.
And it's like you said, writing the new blueprint.
Yeah.
And
I think the message I'm getting for myself from my higher self. I mean, I see myself in these other realms, and I also work with all these guides, and it's the same message from each of the guides. It's just a different aspect. Just like you would talk to 20 different people, you're going to get 20 different experiences. What I'm being shown is this 3D world as we experience it. I have been so off the grid, but I just went online and found out about, the wall and what's going on with our government and everything. All of this stuff is coming to the surface to be released. It's done. It's an old system. The money system is an old system. The, working in cubicles is an old system. It's wonderful to be able to, you can be of service or be on a spiritual journey and enlightened, whatever you're doing, whether you're working for somebody else or you're going through difficulties, whatever. We're all rising to this occasion of letting this 3D go. So my guide showed me the only reason we're even having a 3D experience is because most people don't even know this thing is happening. You have a really, really strong awakening audience that are going, wow, what's this? Or wow, I know this. Where do we go next? Or wow, I'm feeling this. I need some affirmation. And my guides just say, we're fine. When you don't know what to do, it's okay because it feels weird.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
like,
That
how do you
actually,
shape this? You know,
yeah,
even how you're
that makes
developing
sense.
your business and,
Yeah,
you know, whatever you're doing.
yeah, it does. It's like, it's like the big challenge is getting used to this multidimensional,
Yeah.
uh, experience like you're describing about yourself. You're
Yeah.
seeing, I think I had one. Well, I had one today that I hadn't really had before.
Mm-hmm.
And it was. I know it's not going away. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
okay, I see it
Yeah.
now. But
Yeah.
yeah, you're right too. And I think I want to ask you too. Because
Mm-hmm.
you're a practitioner,
Mm-hmm.
and there are a lot of people that are, I mean, for lack of a better word, struggling
Uh-huh. Yeah.
or doubt. Because it is levels of faith, levels of doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Um, in terms of like releasing
Yeah.
stuff,
Yep.
um, especially personal things, like you said, getting out of victim consciousness.
Yeah.
How important is it? Is there anything more important than for people to speak it? Because the verbalization seems to have a huge part of this whole transition.
Yeah. So I think everybody has a truth that they have to speak. So I was real shy half of my life. And then I worked in New York for 35 years at all these, very, very big companies and had my own business and stuff. And I had to speak. I had to learn how to talk that language. But my real voice is coming from, I have a real quirky personality that you've experienced a little bit. And I get a little crazy and fun and jazzy. And then I'm very serious and sacred and, sacred activities and stuff. And um, it's the way that I flow. Some people like it. Some people don't quite know how to vibe with it, but I've had to be okay with that. And I think that people need to find an way to be with themselves, so all these conflicts, all these like struggles, when I get frustrated about something, it's usually a trigger from an experience that was really difficult and I don't want to do it again. Oh my
Yeah,
God. Oh my God. I don't want to have this, conversation. And, it's the human condition. But when you let that go, the thing I learned over and over again is instant forgiveness. Forgive yourself. Okay. I made a mistake. I'm human. It's okay. This is why I'm here. It's not,
yeah,
there's no perfect.
yeah,
And it's also releasing judgment from other people. They
yeah,
tried their best. Even
yeah,
no matter how bad the situation is, that person is a human being who
yeah,
is trying their best.
yeah.
So
That
the
seems,
way, yeah,
yeah, that seems to be growing. That whole self judgment and judgment of others seems to
yeah,
be fading, or
hmm
shedding some of that stuff. Let me ask you too. When you tap in, I mean, I don't know how to say this.
yeah. Tap in is
So
good.
yeah. So can you tap in to your aspects, your light language telephone lines?
Yeah, yeah.
can can you tap in with intention? Can you tap in, like say in this moment, for a specific intention of a greater understanding, more compassion, less self judgment, less
Mm-hmm.
judgment of others. Whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You know
Or
what? I
did you
think
just
I have 1%, and I'm out on the land
yeah,
without my recharger.
go for it while you go for it as it goes out. I worded it that way.
Yeah, I
Just
just
go
want to
for
share
it.
a message. Yeah, anybody can tap into it. Just be in your center. And I'd love to talk to anybody that wants to reach out to me as I'm
Yeah.
traveling. And, I mentioned also, would love to do a part 2 if you want to do this, but I just want to share one message. Believe in yourself, and it's all opening up. Just have patience with yourself, enjoy your life, be around some good high vibe people, and it'll reveal itself. Everything will be fine. Everything is fine, really. So that's
I
what I
gotta
want to share.
say,
But
you actually turned into many multi-dimensional fractals while you were doing that. You
usually
guys can
happens.
catch your you guys can catch Shakara at her website. It's posted in the text of this live. We're here to support each other. This is the year of collaboration and co-creation and
very
support.
important.
So every little bit counts for everybody, and I'm living testament. Morgan and I mean, we're all in this together. We're all going through the same thing. So it's very important to pay it forward. So please check out Shakara at her website. And we can do as part 2. We're trying to find some stability. We don't really know what's happening right now. So as soon as we stabilize, which I have complete faith in, we'll be filling up the schedule again like we were. Like we were. So.
Awesome. Well, I just want to share if anybody needs some help with this transition, I do these light language sessions. You can find it on my website. And this is how I'm supporting myself to travel the land to get these messages for the people, So Star people are alive and well and working with all of us. And I just love you very much, Todd. And thank you for being you, brother. You're awesome.
Thank you. I'll see you later. I'll see you soon. We'll get back together soon. Take care. Thank you, everybody. Be back.
Thank you.